in honor of the Roosevelt Hotel.
Okay? Yeah.
The first original Oscars were presented here just over 100 years ago. I am honored to be your first host of the first annual Greggy Awards. When the Academy called me and asked me to be the first host of the first annual Greggy Awards, I said, of course, yes, what an honor to be the first host to be asked. And then, wait, I wasn't the first? I wasn't the first? Oh, okay. So who's the first? Natalia. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, she just had a baby, and I know she's busy, but she would have been amazing. So yeah, no, it's great. It's great to be the second host to be asked to host the first Greggy Awards. I wasn't the second. They said. Dan was the second. That's great. Okay. He's charming, fantastic. Yeah, I get it. And so, but the third, I wasn't the third. Okay. Nicole Limo. Okay. Fantastic. I mean, she was an intern last summer. She incredibly charming. Nicole would be great. I'm totally fine with that. It would be great. I was the fifth. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. It's an. Okay, who was the fourth? Will Smith? I mean, really? Come on! Give me another Will! No, either way, it is an honor to be the fifth asked host to present the first annual Greggy Awards in honor of FQAC service. It has been a fantastic year for Factor and the FQHC business that we have had. As always, some of our best performances were in California. But we did have one of our leading performances in Texas this year. Where's the Prism team? Can I hear from the Prism team? Fantastic. Sarah, Martin, and Molly in particular for the 340B were big performers this year. Wonderful. We love Texas. We love Texas. We love the barbecue. We love the barbecue. Tao, Mom, where's Tao? Where are you? Tao, one of our best performers of the year. That's us. One of our best clients. Very impressive. Tao, you might not know, Tao has traveled so much to Columbus that she is a few points away from being a lifetime VIP at the Marriott. It's true. Oh, she made it! Congratulations, Tao. In honor of the occasion, we're getting her a t-shirt that says, I have traveled 1,000 times to Columbus, Ohio, and now I get a free cookie when I check in at the Marriott. That's warm, they're delicious. You don't understand, they're delicious. Shige, where are you, Shige? Shige! One of our top billers and performers of the year. Shige has cracked the code. He is working in Hawaii while working for our clients in the States. And, all right, I do have to point out one thing if you've been in meetings with Shige. Has anyone noticed that Shige is like, he's always on, his head is like on the bottom third of the screen. And sometimes it kind of looks like he's leaning back in a chair. But, no, he's in a chaise, everybody. He's in a chaise. All his meetings are on the beach. Brilliant. Yeah. But my gosh, how sick are you of hearing from me tonight in presentations? I have presented so much to you guys today that my manager has canceled my tour and is sending me to where Britney Spears goes. Oh. Yeah. The good news is that Greg is going to apply for my conservatorship. So. Yeah. And so enough of me, let's get on with the show, everybody. And so, the first annual Greggy Awards.
I understand this is the first ever Greggy Award, and I'm very honored to be asked to present it to you. I'm guessing it stands for your name, Greg. So I'm thinking G maybe for your goofy smile, R for your rakish good looks and style, E maybe your extravagant, entertaining flair, and G, you're a go-getter. I mean, what do you know? So anyway, congratulations, Greg, on this award. Again, best of luck. Oh, I gotta go.
Hey Greg, Louise here. Just want to give you a shout out and say how much I appreciate you. It's been really great to work with you. I appreciate our partnership, the way you and your team are always looking out for the health centers and coming up with ideas to solve problems that we didn't even know existed yet. And I really appreciate the forward thinking that you fostered at Factor. Your team is phenomenal. You've definitely put together a great organization, and that's testament to your leadership. So thank you for everything. Appreciate you.
Hey, Greg, this is Tamara. I hate these selfie videos, but I'll go ahead and try. You are my brother from another mother, and I don't know that there's really one particular story that I have, other than you are always positive, always forward thinking, always solution oriented, and I just love your enthusiasm for Harbor and for San Pedro. So thank you for all you do. You're the best.
Hi Greg, happy holidays. Thank you all for such a wonderful job you've done for Harbor. We could have not done it without you guys.
I went back into my old files and realized that the first meeting of the NCH board with Factor was August 16th, 2011. And fast forward to August 8th of 2015, we actually achieved our new access point status. And between those years, there were a lot of stops and starts and a lot of you holding my hand to teach me what an FQHC was all about. So during that process, you became not only a mentor, but a friend, and you helped me develop into someone that I could actually consider myself as a possibility as an FQHC CEO. So you will always be a friend, and you are also the best source of any kind of gossip that has So I appreciate you in so many different ways. And I've achieved a great deal in your life and in your firm. All the best, Audrey.
Hello. You know, we've long wondered when the Academy would honor our dear friend with this prestigious and coveted award. After all, G stands for great. R, rad. E, excellent. And G, Gail. Greg. Congratulations, G. I couldn't think of anybody more deserving.
We have a few more we'd like to bring up and present for some in-person acknowledgments, and I would like to invite to the stage Danielle.
It's like my Beyonce moment. Greg, I remember meeting you in early 2016. This was before I begged you to give me a job. And it was for a nap at CCHC. I think we probably crossed paths before then, but that's the moment that I remember that you spoke so highly about the staff that we had. I think I was like number 11 by then. I remember specifically you calling out people by name to CCHC's leadership, saying how proud you were to have acquired Brian from CCA LAC. Jackie Provost at the time was new. And it's really incredible to see what you've built. Turn around and take a look. Do it. Prior to that moment, my dream was to grow, whether it was with CCHC or with an NQHC. And in that moment, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, there's more I could do. And to not just make a difference at one organization, but at hundreds, literally. And I think it was like 2.5 million people a year that we talked about today, that we serve. But what I love the most about your leadership over the last almost 8 years is that you still call people by name to call out their talent. And that's incredible. In a firm of 65-ish folks, and never do you forget someone's name or to recognize them. And I think that what you've built here is incredible. Everyone's incredibly talented, but please don't forget that that's because you started this.
I'd like to invite Shelley to the stage. There you go.
Because I was told to keep it short and sweet, and as Greg would say, my run-on sentences can be a tad long-winded. So I'm gonna do my best. Greg, I can't think of anyone better to receive the first ever Greggy than you. And it's not just because the names are so similar. When I started with the firm, I was really nervous. I was intimidated by the scope of work being done, then the taken with the form of the man through my screen whose name is literally the place of work. But very quickly you showed me a side of you that I instantly connected with. And to go from that intimidation to being comfortable enough to reach out to you to grab breakfast on a random Saturday as quickly as I did shows the kind of person and the leader that you are. It also mirrors the energy of the firm. The fact that you have created a space for any and all type A overachieving individuals to not only thrive in work but to also stay connected to one another is a testament to you. So congratulations, Greg. To the first of many Greggies for the firm, and thank you for being everything you are to so many of us.
Andy, come to the stage. This music's killing me. I love it. Oh, Greg, you're probably wondering which story I'm going to tell tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, Andy Eck, I've been with the firm for 7 years. Next January, it's coming January. 7 years. Greg, we met in Denver 7 years ago. I was living in Oregon at the time, and Greg graciously agreed to let me work from Oregon. And about a year into that, it's like, hey, most of your clients are in Los Angeles. You want to think about coming down here? So I was talking to my wife, Mandy, and she's like, I don't know about this. But here we are 6 years later, we had our LA anniversary. But while working up in Oregon, it was my first week at the firm. And I was to fly down to Los Angeles. And I will never forget that first day. So flew into Los Angeles, and in the time of Uber and Lyft, it would have been so easy to just say, grab an Uber Lyft, come on over to Rossmore, for your first day. But Greg didn't do that. Greg's like, I'm gonna pick you up at the airport. And so, pulled up, right on time, a little early because it's Greg. You probably circled around a couple times. I know. He had a water bottle ready to go. How was your flight, sir? It was good, thanks. Went over to Rossmore and had one of the best onboarding days, weeks I've ever had. And I held a few positions in different companies, and it wasn't the content of the onboarding. It wasn't that at all. It wasn't the subject. But it was how you went about it, Greg. It was the caring, compassionate, I was the only person in the room that mattered in that moment, onboarding. And you don't get that. You just don't. It was the time that you spent with me, the countless hours answering all of my dumb questions. And I'm not new to FQHCs, I had a lot of dumb questions though. You answered all of them. But it's the time you spent. And it's something that I know Greg didn't just do for me, he does that for everybody. You make the time, Greg, and that's the most important thing. We unveiled our values today, 3 values, and Greg, the one that you unveiled today was with heart. And I would say that display on my first day, and that display, not just for me, but for many, if not all of you in the room, that was with heart. It was with compassion, with kindness, with caring, the time and attention that you give. And so that first memory, my first day, really stood out to me. I wanted to share it tonight. Thanks, Greg. And as we lengthen out these beautiful relationships, longer and some a little longer in time and some deeper, I want to welcome Brian Nolan to the stage.
So I can remember it was at a NAC CHI conference in San Diego, and Greg came up to me, and we knew each other, sort of, from the work, and you looked at me and you just leaned in and said, "You ready to make some real money?" But it started a conversation that actually went on for almost a year and a half. Because I wasn't quite ready. I was working at the Clinic Association in LA County. I wasn't quite ready. It wasn't, I was thinking, I'd been there almost, at that point, 14 years. I ended up doing 15 years. But we would meet every quarter. We'd have breakfast or lunch, usually in Larchmont area, and just connect and check in, because you admitted, we're not quite ready for you either. But then over time, as the firm progressed, and as my time at the Clinic Association, it was perfect timing after about a year and a half, because it was, for those that the Health Center Controlled Network, it was the very first federal grant that the Clinic Association we applied for. And I told Greg, I need to finish that proposal. Once that proposal's in, I'm ready. And you said, so are we. And so we figured it out, and I started in the following May. But honestly, over that year and a half, because my career in healthcare, I worked at LA County Health Department, the Public Health Department, and then 15 years at the Clinic Association. I only viewed myself working for nonprofit or on the public side, because for me, it's all about mission. It's giving back and taking care of those that don't have as much privilege, opportunities that the rest of us do. And I wasn't sure that I could do that in a for-profit setting. But over those that year and a half talking with you, and then I can remember having lunch where you introduced me to Jay, and more, you always talked about the patients, and that stuck with me. I always noticed that it was always about the patients. And right after I started, you said to me, we don't have success unless our health centers have success. And I knew I was home. So thank you. And today, everything we did today, the values, just further cemented. We can do social entrepreneurship. You can be for-profit without losing your soul and without serving the community. Thank you. You are an example.
Greg, we knew you could only take so much of this. And so we're just going to do one more. I can't think of a better person to do it and someone you have a deep connection with and not too long of a time. So I'd like to invite Melanie out to the stage.
Yes, we have a very deep connection, which I think is very closer to the microphone. Here we go. So, Greg likes to tell the story of when we first met in the parking lot at East Valley, where he calls me a no-nonsense COO that kind of came in and was like, "Let's go." Intimidating.
Yeah.
It's not all false, but. The first memory I really have of Greg is sitting around our boardroom meeting table at East Valley. Greg walks in, blazer on, button-up shirt, couple buttons at the top open, to do his chic business casual style as he does. Perfect, Greg. He hits me with information, breezes through optometry services like he knows everything A to Z, which he does, right? He's a memory bank, which we all know. He called his contact on the phone from another FQAC to talk about how to do optometry services from a peer perspective. His long list of contacts that he knows. I knew right then and there that I was in the presence of greatness. I didn't know it at that time, but Greg and I would come back together years later in my life at a very critical career and personal moment and have a lasting impact on my life and my family. Greg, you are the heart of Factor. We are in this room today because of you. You hold a special place in all of our hearts, and you're so deserving of this award. Thank
Pleasure to present the first inaugural Greggy Award to our founder, Greg Factor.
Those that know me well know I'm very seldom lost for words. But I'm lost for words. Chesney, I'm going to kill you. Chesney, I'm going to kill you. I can't really say much other than I'm just greatly overwhelmed. It's a very special moment, but you know, we're here because all of you do such fantastic work. We said today, and I always mean it, and I always think, and we say this to our clients in collaboration, we say it to our folks in our firm, the best partnerships are when both sides do well. We do well because each of you work really hard on our behalf. For that, if we earn your loyalty and your retention, it's just a great day for us. It's a great day for our clients. So I'm filled with gratitude that each of you trust us to help take care of you and further your careers and spend a lot of your working life with us. It's just a great joy to be in meetings with you every single day. And you all know it puts a smile on my face, and I know it puts a smile on yours. What we do is so impactful. It changes lives on a wide scale. So thank you. And Chelsea, I'm going to kill you.